This week's program is sponsored by Smart Bookmarks, when reading real books still matters to you. Available at smart-bookmarks.com.
Monday evening, the Benton County Commissioners' debate was held at the Corvallis Public Library. The Gazette-Times hosted it, and Mike McAnally from the Gazette-Times was moderator. The three Democrats were Quentin Cruth, Ann Schuster, and Pat Malone. The lone Republican candidate is Jerry Jackson. Pat Malone, who's not a very seasoned candidate, presented a rather middle-of-the-road approach to the issues in Benton County, stating that he wanted to work within the budget, work with the people, and work for the people.
My background, my wife and I have a tree farm out in the Kings Valley area, Sunrise Tree Farm, that we own and operate and have managed to stay in business for over 30 years. So number one priority, and I would agree with Jerry. If the budget is happy, then all the other aspects of county government, the 11 departments that we have, can function.
The youngest candidate, and perhaps the most interesting, was Quentin Cruth. Quentin is a Monroe area resident and is only 20 years old, not yet quite 21. But he does make quite an impression.
Although it was many days ago, with my bachelor's degree in mathematics and public policy planning and management. Now, I know I'm young, and I know that it sounds like I should be the least experienced candidate in the room, but I'm actually here today to talk to you about how I'm the candidate who's most qualified and most ready to assume this position on the Benton County Commission. My main priority, I think the biggest concern for the County Commission right now, is the long-term fiscal health of Benton County.
And Schuster, who's so far had a pretty aggressive campaign and had many endorsements, had copious notes and worked from them, but essentially healthcare is her prime goal. She also wants to work within the budget and work within the structure of the county as well.
Benton County's been declared a suicide cluster. There have been 8 suicides in the last 6 months, 3 at OSU and 5 at Benton County high schools. For me, mental health issues are the biggest priority.
Jerry Jackson, the lone Republican candidate, was effective. He didn't take any out-of-bounds positions on anything, and his response to the Bailey Branch question, whether it should be bought, was, it's already purchased, so let's move forward and decide how we're going to work with it. Budgeting is key. Are the dollars available to do the projects that people want? That was his main mantra.
Something, and you show me that you can do that, then it's my job to make sure you can do that. So we got to figure out how to get to yes, not no.
Well, the primary is only about a month away. So one of the 3 candidates, either Ann Schuster, Pat Malone, or Quentin Cruth, will face Jerry Jackson. The issue is, it'll be a voter's choice. The Downtown Corvallis Association had their monthly business meeting this morning at Cloud 9 in downtown Corvallis. The topic of the day was the homeless issue in Corvallis. Approximately 50 downtown business owners were in attendance, along with Mike McAnally from the Gazette-Times and Kevin Dwyer from the Corvallis Chamber of Commerce. Ted Cox, owner of the Old World Deli, spoke of some of the issues he's having and has been having. There is a tactical action patrol that began March 15th and is supposed to sunset after 30 days. There was a call to continue the tactical action plan. One after the other, business owners spoke of the problems they were having. One gentleman who recently moved here from New York City said that New York City had the will, the political will, to do something about it. The question remains, as this gentleman said, does Corvallis have the political will to do something about it? Terry, owner of Benson's Interiors, which is just next door to the downtown men's homeless shelter, which is temporarily closed, expressed a very big concern that she spoke to some of the homeless, and they are coming from Seattle, Eugene, Medford, and there's continual fighting in her parking lot. And she also expressed the fact that she's very concerned about her customers. The collective opinion, and one of the strategies that will be done, is a task force between the Corvallis Chamber of Commerce and the Downtown Corvallis Association. Also, there's going to be a big push to get business owners down to the City Council. City Council has the visitors proposition time, and they want business owners to spend their 3 minutes speaking to the issue of homeless in Corvallis and the strategies that ought to be done. Hugh White, downtown business owner, spoke of the fact that people need to endorse counselors based on their stance on what they will do with homelessness. He spoke very strongly about it, he was passionate about it, and he believes that every city councilor should be interviewed by the Downtown Corvallis Association, and the Downtown Corvallis Association should be making endorsements based on that fact. There were also representatives from the Community Outreach and the Benton County Foundation. Each of them spoke of the fact that rules are required, conditions are required. No one can stay at Community Outreach unless they are alcohol-free and drug-free. That is not the case down at the homeless men's shelter. There are continual problems with alcohol being snuck into the facility. There were also concerns that people are not being forced into social programs. One of the conditions that they want to have is if the homeless are going to be here, they need to go to a social program and adhere to the rules. Also, Ted Cox, owner of the Old World Deli, opined the fact that he was concerned that the downtown will become a ghost town. Saturday the 19th of April is the opening of the Saturday Farmers Market. I'm sure everyone will be downtown. Make sure you're there. This week in the Corvallis Advocate, there's a great story on a person who does an awful lot for the community, and that's Annette Mills. The Corvallis Sustainability Coalition basically is a result of all of the efforts of Annette Mills. It's quite a lengthy story, goes in depth, and Annette and her husband Dave Eckert certainly are an addition to the community, and there are about 300 partner organizations in the Sustainability Coalition, of which Corvallistidbits is one. Interesting, this week in the Barometer there was a story about the OSU faculty and how they're concerned with job security. I think evidence of that last Saturday when I visited the Government Comment Corner and was talking to Mayor Julie Manning. A woman came by to speak to Julie Manning, and she didn't want to give her name because she was concerned about reprisals from Oregon State because she is an employee there, but she was concerned about treatment of employees of Oregon State, and she did say this quote, that Steve Clark is a great spinner, meaning spinning of information, but perhaps that is his job. Thursday night, I was in attendance at the Corvallis Country Club at the Corvallis Chamber of Commerce after hours. It was a terrific event. Lots of people were there. Kevin Dwyer's doing a super job as the executive director, and some of the people in attendance included Lou Butera from Core Communications and Russ Hedge from ServPro. Thursday evening, I also attended the Corvallis Arts Center, the official welcoming to Cynthia Spencer, who is now the newest art director in Corvallis. Today I had an opportunity to interview Kayla Dunham, one of the owners of the Agrestic Green Collective that's just opened up this week down on South 3rd Street in Corvallis. Good morning, I'm here with Kayla Dunham at the Agrestic in Corvallis.
I'm Kayla Dunham, and this is the Agrestic.
Kayla, how did you get the idea to open this shop?
Oh, well, I think that we're really dedicated to medical marijuana because we know that it helps people, and we believe that cannabis can really improve lives. So it's kind of a natural extension to find a way to give access to the people. Senate Bill 1531 that just passed changed not only the rights of the cities and counties to ban and put moratoriums on dispensaries for a year. It also added additional restrictions for packaging so that everything that has THC in it has to be in a child-resistant, tamper-evident package.
Well, the process to open your shop was quite arduous. Would you care to share with us some of the process and systems you went through?
Yeah, absolutely. It's arduous because they want to limit the number and types of people basically who can be involved, so that not just anybody can open a store. That's a way to keep it out of the black market, to keep it out of the hands of children especially. So we have to prove that we, myself especially, that I haven't ever been convicted of a crime that relates to distributing drugs, that I am not a criminal, not only in Oregon, but in anywhere in the United States, And additionally, that I have security all over the building, everywhere, that monitors it 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. So that if someone were to come in, it would be immediately, everything would be handled immediately. And on top of that, everything's on camera. We have to keep backup records of the cameras. We have to record everybody who came in. You had to sign a form to come in. So I think it's, we had to prove all of that. And so I think that is why so many have been rejected by the state, because they weren't able to prove that adequately.
I understand that Todd Delato has been an advocate for the pot regulations, and he has testified at City Council often. How has he been a resource for you?
He's been an excellent resource. Todd has really helped to bring together these separate cannabis industry businesses in this area so that we can all unite and collectively form plans and different procedures, operational procedures, so that we can actually work together closely with John Sassman, who's the chief of police here, and we formed an association so that we can all communicate together, and he's an excellent resource for us. I believe we're really, really dedicated here to doing what's right for the patients and to helping them, to making things available to them that are genuinely going to improve the quality of their lives. So any way we can find to do that, we want to do it. And anybody who can bring us new ideas of ways to do that, we're happy to hear from. We want to hear from everybody. We want to be a positive partner in this community, and we're committed to doing that.
And as part of the process, do your clients need to present any medical documentation in order to secure the...
It's not necessary for them to present that to us. They have to present proof that the state of Oregon has deemed them fitted, qualified for the program. It's not a prescription, it's like a doctor referral. But all they have to do is provide that. We don't ask for any personal information from our patients. They just tell us what they want to tell us, as long as we verify that they're approved by the state and that they are who they say they are.
The Agrestic Green Collective is the first to officially open in Corvallis. There is another that's soon to open up at Beacah and 9th Street. By all indications, it's a very crisp, well-run operation. I'd say rules and regulations are the two key words that have to be followed in the sale of marijuana. And evidently, Kayla's right on top of her game with this.
This week's program is sponsored by Smart Bookmarks, when reading real books still matters to you. Available at smart-bookmarks.com. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. And for the latest information, check us out at Corvallistidbits.com.